Hey, welcome everybody. Sorry about that. I think I got it working. It was doing some weird stuff. Uh wouldn't connect whenever I clicked the button. But welcome Victor, Aaron, Hartman, and Sladen. Thanks for stopping in. We're going to give people a minute or two to jump in here. Um okay, so that is correct as well. And Thad, welcome. I was going to talk a little bit about Malik Neighbors before we get started. For a rookie, I mean, we all know he was because Brock Bowers, right, broke the rookie reception record last year with 112 receptions, and Malik Neighbors had 109 as a rookie. So he is an absolute beast. He had 165 targets. That, if we look through the column, I believe was second. Yeah, it was second. And he missed 2 games. So that is pretty bullish in my eyes. Like that is some ludicrous stuff. Did is this not working? Let me go back. Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, it made me create a new instance apparently. So 1 minute and I'll have the chat right. Because I was bringing up the chat from the previous one. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, whenever I try to connect it to X, it for some reason just removed everything. Like, removed everything I put in. So, so bear with me a minute. We will be doing a drafters draft though as well. Everything looks good, but like it removed the thumbnail, it removed my descriptions and all that stuff. But we're good. We're just here. We're gonna draft. We're gonna have a good time. Welcome Scott Hartman, and Hartman is I don't know if he's went live before, but Hartman has Hartman Fantasy Football. I think is the channel. He's going live tonight at the. I believe it's at the same time I'm going to be on a Fanspeak network doing Bestball Jeopardy. But go watch one of us. Be a good time. All right, so we will go to drafters. There's only 2 people in this lobby. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to join up. Yeah, Sladen being the last non streamer. So we're waiting on 9 for this room. I might just do 1 tonight since I'm going on later. And I have some things I need to get done. You went live last night? Okay, I must have missed it. I know I went and subscribed to you yesterday. So, hey, give me 1 moment while this is filling. Just 1 minute, please. It is incredibly muggy here. It's right at 70 degrees. So needed to kick the AC down lower. I'm tuning in to Fanspeak Jeopardy. That's a can't miss. Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be an awesome show every week. I'm super glad to be a part of it. I'm wondering how much I'm going to embarrass myself. So these, by the way, like drafters, kind of like Fast Draft, not a ton of people play on the platform. Sometimes it takes a while to get these filled. We will look through the Malik Neighbor stuff a little more while we were waiting. So he had 3 weeks that were considered nuclear weeks, and I believe nuclear weeks, because I've asked, I've never got a straight answer on what it was. But by looking through weeks of like 4 or 5 people, it looks like it's like 23 points. And this is half PPR or 21 points. It's like Spike was 17 and Nuke was like 21, 22, something like that. So he had 3 of those, but he had 14 usable weeks. Like, of 15 weeks he played. Just like Jamar Chase was kind of the same. And Jefferson also had 16 usable weeks. So, although Jefferson didn't spike as much as Neighbors, almost every week he played was usable. And that is, and same with Amon. So, the first round wide receivers, if you look at almost all of them, they have the same thing in common. Chase, Neighbors, Jefferson, CD did not, but there were reasons for that. Hey, what's up, Candyman? We are in a $2 drafters, and we are waiting on 4. So, and then Amon Ra as well. Then, like Brian Thomas, he had 14 usable weeks of 17, but he also kind of came on late. So, if you just look at, not only do you get the mega upside, and considering Neighbors had no quarterback last year, like 3 nuke weeks is pretty awesome. They define nuclear as 2 standard deviations above the mean scoring for the. I've looked forever for that. I don't even know what that means though. I need a number. Like I personally need a hard number to know what they mean. Above the mean scoring for that season's position. So like if the average was 12 points or 9.5 points, that was the starting for the year. Like if you took the 3 wide receivers that people started on average and it was 9.3, it would be 18 point whatever, I guess. I don't know. Words bad. I need graphics. That's me. I need graphics. Reading through stuff, not the best. But if I can visualize something, I can remember it. Hey, what's up, Hulk Smash? So, a top 2.3% score that's equivalent to 2 standard deviations away. Not sure how to figure out the number. Okay. Waiting on 3, we are doing a $2 drafters draft today. And drafters is, I don't know. I kind of just do things really chill over here. Maybe because it's just $2. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for coming along. But yeah, like with the nuke weeks having no quarterback, he only had 7 touchdowns with 109 receptions. The Giants are going to score a lot more touchdowns this year. Like, and I know a few people who are Malik Neighbor Bulls. I'm not quite there, but I 100% do not want to fade him. Like, he is a good pick for sure. He also finished top 5 at the position 3 times, top 10 4. So he only had one finish between 5 and 10. And then he only had one more finish from 10 to 20. So he went when he hit really hard, and that's kind of what you want in best ball, right? I'm hoping that this doesn't take half an hour to fill. Off to a booming start. Yesterday was also a little weird. I wanted to see if things ran smoother today. They obviously aren't using this new. I don't know why I didn't connect properly, but it did not. One more $2 drafters. Will you be the hero? The $2 drafts usually don't take that long to fill. Yeah, it's usually 10 minutes or so on these. Like I said, they don't have as many people that play on this site. I really like the interface though. The $20 one, it usually takes a little while to fill from what I've seen. I've not done one yet. I done a bunch of the uh pre-draft ones here. We got the 112. That's one of my favorite spots. Sladen here is at the 103. I don't know any of these other names. Hulk Smash. I know that one. There we go. Finally, an edge of a draft. What do you mean? Oh, never mind. No need to explain anymore. Oh, you're the stooge? Got it. Yeah, I thought I had seen the name before, but yeah, I mean, if you like to draft just to draft, like these $2 drafts are awesome. And a feature that like this never works. This I am ready, let's draft. But if all 12 people click it, you do get to start instantly. I'm assuming the people I'm assuming that Hulk, me, Hartman, and Slayton all click the button. But yeah, and then you get the little chat to kind of discuss things, talk to people. It's a good time. And I need to reset my rankings. I always forget to do this. These rankings are from the pre draft contest, and it did not reset them. So some of them are way, way off. We will do this. So yeah, like number 8, like, what's up, Fantasy Dog? Thank you for coming by. We got yeah, the 12 hole feels really good, especially in a total points for this year. Like getting two stud receivers. So I watched the show, I think off and on the clock yesterday with Pete, John, and Nez. They were talking about the marathon teams, and they went through the top 10 last year, and most of them were wide receiver heavy. Like, they had an anchor, so you kind of want like an anchor. It looked like, at least on the underdog side, you wanted one anchor and then some depth at wide receiver, and then some more. And then you just needed to hit on one or two late running backs. Is kind of what it looked like. I have no ranking here. Should go well. Their ranks are different. So in the drafters contest, there are some things you need. Round 15 looks like Damian Martinez still top guy on my board. Yep. Yeah, yeah, I'm there too. Um, so with this being total points, one thing for sure is rookies are devalued a little bit just because they're generally like maybe not like the elite rookies like Genty, maybe not, uh, but like Hampton even. We will just take Collins and Nico, or Nico and Brian Thomas. But since the rookies on Underdog go a lot earlier because of the playoff format, right? Like you have time to let them build up, and the post buy rookie bump is something that matters. So in this format, you still have to like have just as good of weeks the weeks before they get into their stride. And it's full PPR, right? Yeah, as Slayton says. Which means you can draft blue 10 rounds too early instead of 5. Yeah, and I mean that's a fact. Like, or Woody Marks becomes a little more draftable as well. Like I don't I have a hard time getting to Woody Marks on Underdog. I've taken him on a team or two, but I'm not saying I love it. Uh, but yeah, like rookies get knocked just a little bit compared to the underdog scene, and you definitely want a stud running back. Like I'm going to try to get a running back at 36, 37 if anything's available that looks good. I will never give up on Damian Pierce. Died when both tackles went on the IR. He was framed. Yeah. Yeah, they did. I forgot about that. They really did. And he I was very heavy on him. He his rookie year he looked really good. And he actually when he finally got a chance, didn't Damian Pierce have two like 20-point games last year? We will look that up here. It'll be easier. Cuz I know he had like an 80-yard run. I think it was like week 18. Yeah, week 18 he had 23 points and he had a 15-point game week 19 or week 6. So, and then he barely even got anything. He got one carry, one carry, one carry, five. So, yeah, he didn't really get a chance last year at all. And I mean, their offensive line, some people think it's better, some people think it's worse. I think it's a little, I think it may be better. I know Tunsil is a good player, but sometimes it's just synergy when it comes to offensive linemen as well. And I know they added the guy from the Vikings, and I believe they added somebody else, and they took a lineman as well in the draft pretty early. So Singletary also got the rub from both the tackles coming back from IR. That was when he did better than Pierce. Hmm. Yeah, Singletary is somebody I've never been able to get it in on. Like, especially this year. Old motor. People were hyping him up because the coach called him motor because he goes. Like, that's kind of hilarious to me. JSN, I'm not huge on JSN. But man, I would take him at 36. Slayton says, I just expect Pierce to show up in a year or two somewhere, have it a Deontay Foreman esque. Like he's a player that if he just happened to be, man, I could get both. I mean, Brees is. I definitely need Brees because I need the stud. Both of these have wide or bye week 8. I'm going to go ahead and take JSN and Brees Hall there. I need to watch my bye week 8. It's the only bye week that has 6 people. So, and in this format, like you can kind of get away with a bipocalypse on underdog. You have to be a little bit more cautious on drafters. Wasn't Pierce hurt by scheme change? Better zone runner? I'm actually not sure. But everybody there should probably be better because Bobby Slowick is gone. And I believe that's just a net positive for everyone on that offense. The scheme changers, Slovic is probably coaching women's flag football. Yeah, I know a lot of people did not like him. I was also not a big fan of what they did. I That's like the only reservation I have about Joe Mixon this year. Like Joe Mixon's a great pick, and Joe Mixon continually just does enough to keep his job. He's never incredibly. He always gets a bunch of yards. He does fine, but he's never explosive or a guy that's fun to watch, right? And maybe that's just my opinion on it. So like that's Joe Mixon was the entire reason I was in on Damian Pierce last year. Honestly, like I believed that Mixon was only the only reason he had success is because he was on the Bengals, and then he had a lot of success last year. But he was also force fed the ball a bunch. Like, let's look and see what Joe Mixon done because I believe he had just a bunch of carries per game. And maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so the games he played 25, 25, 24, 25, 20, 14, 20. They did start giving the ball a lot less at the end of the season, but 30? Yeah, like that's a bunch of carries. Hey, welcome Jason, the River Rat. Slovak lived to put CJ Stroud in 3rd and long after 2 halfback dives. Yeah, I really I understand why you run the ball up the middle a couple times every once in a while, like back to back plays. But when it completely gets shut down and then you try it again, and then the next drive you come back and you try it again, like that's pretty awful. And that's what, like, I know this is like complaining when I shouldn't be complaining as a Chiefs fan, but Andy Reid does that stuff when we get leads. Like he just runs the ball straight up the middle, never plays to like just win the game. But they have a good enough defense that they tend to still not give away the games. So can't really complain about it, but it's not fun to watch. Slowick is now the coordinator for the Dolphins passing game and bearish for them. Yep, I have not been taking a lot of Tyreek or Waddle. I would 100% agree with that. A player that I really like in this format specifically, that I think like he should go higher on drafters than underdog, is still on the board. Hopefully nobody takes him. I will old Nappy King or N.A. Toms, North American Toms, maybe. The Porkster and the Nappy King. Love it. Hartman, we're going to have you get a profile picture. Same with Hulk. Hulk, like, you could definitely get one. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely. Hartman nailed it. Like, I think he should go probably 50 to 55 on drafters. Like, he is such a smash. Yeah, and I kind of figured that was what was going to happen. Um, so I think I want Connor, and I know we were just talking a lot of crap about Slowick, but Jalen Waddle at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take Jalen Waddle and James Conner as a fourth wide receiver. Jalen Waddle makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm not going to rely on him to be great, just to have some good games. And for as much as I dislike Slowick, he did have some deep passing games, right? Yeah, I kind of think that it's Achan and Waddle. I'm kind of in the same boat, but I tend more to not take Waddle and Janu together. But I feel like the theory is the same. Like, I think you can take Tyreek with whoever. Uh, I think you could take Achan with Janu. I think you could take Achan with Tyreek and Janu with Tyreek. But I think that Waddle with Achan's a little worse, but I think Waddle with Janu is the nut low in that situation. The reason why is because if Janu is smashing, it's because the offensive line sucks. And if the offensive line sucks, that's why Janu's getting the short ones, and Waddle doesn't have time to get open downfield, right? Hey, what's up, Tyler? Yeah, we're trying something a little different. Just wanted to come over here, do a draft, maybe a second one. I haven't done any of the $20 yet. I actually have 2 tickets, so I'm going to do some at some point. But I've been doing some of these $2 when I'm not streaming and stuff. I don't know, I feel like it's relaxing over here. The $2 investment's pretty much nothing. Tyreek and Janu, I take a lot more in underdog because you simply need them to blow up in playoff weeks. Makes sense. Yeah, and fading a guy like Tyreek Hill at 100% in a playoff format seems pretty bad. If you wanted to fade Tyreek in this format, total points, I think it would make a lot more sense. I'm doing great, sir. Thanks for asking. I'm going to go out on a limb and say in 3 to 5 years, Drafters is the most popular site. It may be. Uh, I'm I'm just hoping. I hope that, like, I really enjoy this interface. Right, this interface is so clean. It's really nice. I maxed last year the main. I did like 70 of the Superflex. I did over 150 between the two minis they had, and I didn't have a lot of success. But I also had a whole bunch of the players who got injured, and I took way too much Jonathan Brooks. And one thing you don't want in this is injured players completely hurt you. Like, 100% much, much worse. It's good ROI grounds. They need to fix the colors. You don't like these colors? Drafters need to start filling more of the big contest if it's. Well, they need. I don't think people care as much about total points. They they need to add like an eliminator style contest. Like since Underdog deleted the eliminator that they had last year and changed it, if drafters just took that idea that Underdog was using before and they add that to their site, they would actually get some people to come over because a lot of people most people love the new eliminator format, but a lot of those people also love the old eliminator format. So having that available would be very nice for the community. So I think I want Hawkinson here. Jacoby Myers this late feels pretty good though. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go Myers. Um, oh, that was another bye week 8. I already talked about not doing that, but that's a fall. Like I'm okay with that fall. I'm not sure raising the price point to $20 is the best idea. Yeah, I that's why I'm not going to do very many of them. I believe they so last year was 180,000, like it's like 182,000 people, but it's $15 price point. This year it's $20, but 140,000 people. That's probably the same math. Uh, I haven't done it, but it feels like that would be about the same amount of money. Total points puts you out of contention early. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you're if you faded Saquon last year and Derrick Henry, like I did, your total points teams, like pretty much by week 10, you're like, well, I don't have anything to root for. Like, you have nothing, no investment. So, in the playoff format, as long as you get a team in, you have just as much of a chance as anybody else. Yeah, I think that I don't they are rooted right now. So I've followed a couple like Bayou Bengal and Big Draft Energy. I watched them a little bit last year because they did drafters content as well. And when I did drafters, I like to just listen. Um, so they drafters pops into the chats pretty often. Like they're really good about interacting with the community for sure. They said that they were looking at different things for this year. I don't know if that, and that was last year, right? So I don't know what, like, if they had anything planned or if they actually went through with that. But I would not be surprised to see something like an eliminator or weekly winners or some other style this year on this site. I'm not saying I have information on it. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I did like 20 of the ME last year for the 300. This year I did like 10 big boards and one ME. What is the ME? A main event. Okay. So I'm simply putting less money into drafters. 20 contests and the contest gets worst in your opinion for eliminator? Oh, okay. Yeah. Agreed on entries in this format. Had a team with Chase, Saquon, Bowers, and 3 dead quarterbacks last 6 weeks. Didn't win the 500K. Damn. I had a team. So my best team last year finished 150th. Uh, I didn't have a quarterback week 14. It was one of the only Saquon teams I drafted. I started Isaac Garindo like 3 weeks and Zach Charbonnet like 5 weeks. Zach Sharp like, and it was a wild team. Like I was just having fun. I took George Kittle, Brock Bowers, and Taysom Hill. I had so many points at tight end, but the problem was I had Anthony Richardson as my quarterback and Jaden Daniels. Well, I forgot while I was drafting that they had week 14 buys. So I had to add another guy, and all the quarterbacks went way early in that draft. So my bye week quarterback ended up being Gardner Minshew, who got hurt the week before week 14. So I didn't have a quarterback that week. That alone cost me 20 points, which would have put me close to the top 100. Not that there's that much money just finishing at 100, but it would have felt good. Drafters is probably the format to be pretty flat and take and try to hammer the edge of avoiding very likely bad teams and known injuries. Yeah. And I did not do the known injuries thing last year. I had 24% Jonathan Brooks because I was set in my ways that he was going to start week 6. And that did not happen. And I got crushed. All of my quarterbacks are late. So here, I think I just want to take a couple running backs. I'm going to take Mason for sure. That gives me a different bye week. Warren would also give me a different bye week. I could take Tyrone Tracy. I think I like Warren a little more. We'll go off the ADP. We'll take. So right now we have Brees Hall, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Jordan Mason, all different bye weeks. That feels pretty solid. Wide receivers: Nico, Brian Thomas, JSN, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers. 3 bye week 8s. Have to fix that. And then TJ Hawkinson at quarterback. Definitely a 3 quarterback build. Uh, I mean, if I end up feeling strong in all my positions, I'm not against the 4 quarterback team if they're all late in this. If I ever saw Greg Dulcich at a restaurant, I'd insist he owed you lunch. My only Saquon team and BBM missed the cut of advancing because Dak was our quarterback too. Oh, yeah, Dak also killed me on the Superflex, and I was top 10 in the Superflex the week that Dak got hurt last year. And I had Dak and CD. CD set out later, and I had Chris Godwin who got hurt 2 weeks before. So I was looking very good and got some bad injury luck. And then that team ended up finishing like 270th or something. Your best drafters placed 170, only did 28. That's awesome. The next drafters finish was like 97th or something. So I'm going to be humble and implement my approach above. I think elite quarterbacks, more emphasis. Kittle had the only tight end that appeared in the top 10 teams. The best. Yeah. Yeah, I do think elite tight end is worse in this format as well. Yeah. Yeah, and well, the team was stacked with Baker as well. So I had Dak and Baker, and they were both doing very well. And I had I think I tacked Sam Darnold on or something. No, I didn't. I only ended up with 2 quarterbacks because what made it hurt so much was I was mostly filling the flex with non quarterbacks because I was looking through it. But the week Dak got hurt week 10, and week 11 was Baker's bye. So Dak got hurt the week before he needed to start for me. Like the only week I needed him to start was the week that he got hurt. So it ended up being pretty brutal. And yeah, I had some pretty bad injury luck. But everybody did at some point. Everybody had a team that looked pretty good. That, yeah, I mean, if you had Godwin last year, your team looked pretty good. And then when he got hurt, it no longer looked good. If you draft elite tight end, you really have to act like it laps the field. Yeah, that is a very good point. I was doing elite tight end a lot last year on drafters, and it was awful. And then looking back and seeing how the weeks ping pong and stuff, like, and I kind of knew that was a thing that could happen last year, but I mean, my tight end 1 last year was still Kelsey. I didn't think he was going to fall off as much as he did. Um, I didn't think our defense was going to be as good as it was. And I thought Mahomes was going to throw for 35, 40 touchdowns again. And he did not. He did not come close. I do think that like the super late tight ends aren't as good in this format either. I mean, I absolutely would love any of these. You guys really let me draft Kittle before saying elite tight end is bad. No, like I think Kittle this year is fine. Like McBride was still a good pick on this format, and he went where Kittle's going. Right? So you kind of need that. None of the top teams had him, but that was because the other players in that range smashed. Like Joe Mixon smashed, right? Brian Thomas Jr. smashed. Or I guess that was where Kittle went. Yeah, we will. Something else that's very important in drafters is you definitely want to stack. If you have a stud wide receiver like a Nico or Brian Thomas, to get first, you pretty much are required to have that quarterback stack. Like if Nico goes off for the 17 touchdowns that Jamar Chase did last year, you need CJ Stroud's going to have a ton of touchdowns, and you're probably not going to have a Nico team that doesn't have CJ Stroud on it at the top, right? Because they're going to correlate very well. So I believe that you need, it's more important to get your quarterback one stack here. Maybe I'm wrong. I've not looked at data for that, but it just looking at all the teams that they were going through for the marathon yesterday, it looked like a lot of them had like Dak with CD or uh, a lot of it was Baker with Godwin or Evans, right? Like so, and it was the later quarterbacks that smashed. It was when Baker and Evans were on the same team, stuff like that. It seemed to be a little better. But I mean, Baker just smashed last year, so he was round 13 and quarterback 3, I believe. Yeah, quarterback 3 on the year. 41 touchdowns in the 13th round. That's and then Mahomes, my big bet. Can't even see him on the field. Where is he? 26. Big letdown. Well, I mean, Stroud might see a major increase this year with Bobby Slowick being gone. And Trevor Lawrence, if he's not successful this year, he has no more arguments, right? Like he can't. This is the year he has his people. Is Drafter's 6 point quarterback passing touchdowns? It is not. It is the underdog scoring. It's 4 points for passing, 6 points for rushing. It's also full PPR. There are zero, unlike, it doesn't have the cliffs like the 100-yard bonuses and stuff that DraftKings has. And it is total points. 100% total points. That's all you get. Uh, and as I think it was Slayton earlier, and I think everybody kind of admits like the uh, the sweat isn't as heavy here because if you don't just show up into the playoff format with a chance. Like as long as your guys are healthy, you have a chance. That's not the case here. You have to continually put up monster weeks to so like what's funny is A Train, I think was his name, or A Train on Underdog won the marathon last year. He was saying yesterday that he actually didn't know he won it. And whenever the playoff best ball stuff started, he went on, or it was maybe it's the pre-draft, or yeah, I think it was the pre-draft contest. He went in to deposit money and noticed he had $300,000 in his account. Uh, because that's what it was like. He had $308,000 because they did the payouts. All of his other bets lost round 16, so he didn't even look. Didn't think to look at the marathon, and he logged in and noticed he had $300,000. Like, could you imagine? Like, there's zero chance I would have the ability to not just look. I looked every week to see where my top team was. Like probably unhealthy, but I enjoy like it. It was something to do. All right, we got. I feel pretty good about this. Wide receivers are definitely drying up. I do need to attack the week 8 issue I have. I probably want another uh, running back here. I feel good about those four. I think I'm just tacking on some guys really late. I don't really like Josh Palmer. We could. We're going to take Wandale for sure. We might also take Josh Palmer. There's enough names down there that I don't hate. I think I'm going to scoop the value on Jake Ferguson, is what I'm going to do. So TJ Hawkinson, Jake Ferguson, different bye weeks. That feels pretty good. Jake Ferguson at 157, his ADP's, I got a 13 pick value on him. Wandale helps even out the bye weeks a little bit. It gives me at least 3 wide receivers for week 8. I'll still need to get another one. My bye weeks are all in a line very well. I wish I had the ability to just log out until week 17 after the season starts. Um, I don't like. I don't like. I play in it partially to torture myself, right? Like I kind of like. I don't hate that. So Hartman in the one hole. He's got Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, George Kittle, Rome, Pollard, Ayuk, Brian Robinson, Tootin, Drake May, Benson, Cedric Tillman. I love that. Also, I forgot, but to review teams, I can just click their username and it pops up. So Slayton, Jalen Hurts, JJ McCarthy, Bucky Irving, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Rashad White. That's a very solid group. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, Trey Harris, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Mims, Kyle Williams. I really like that. You got 2 studs and then a bunch of possible spike week guys and Kyle Williams and Trey McBride. Yeah. I actually like this is exactly how you're supposed to build the elite tight end. Maybe you do go 2 more, but they're so late that like you do need him to absolutely smash, but tight ends can still hit the flex, right? So not like refusing to take him. Yeah, he took Mims. Oh Mimsy. I love Mimsy. I definitely need another. I mean, if Tua falls all the way back, I'll smash him. Like, where is the Tyreek drafter? What do they have going on? He's debating. He's about to take Tua right here. He's only got Josh Allen, so that is a nice push. Josh Allen, and then he got Tua. at 170. Pushed him around the corner. That was a good play by J. Williams. JW. Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold is the quarterback 3 as well. It will only leave me one quarterback for week 8, but being able to ping pong weeks feels fine. I Stroud and Lawrence are good, but I definitely want a third with this group. I haven't done a drafter draft since the Sunday it opened. ADPs don't seem much different. They really don't. Uh, it's not like going to DraftKings where everything is incredibly chaotic. Yeah, like I had a DraftKings draft last night that started. Um, it was neighbors, CMC, Rasheed Rice, Tyreek Hill, and just laughed. Like, okay, not saying it's gonna win, but it definitely felt good. We will go Sam Darnold and I think yeah, we'll take Roshan Johnson. I don't love Roshan, but he's a fine click. I I'm probably gonna add. I don't know. This running back room feels pretty good. Probably just add one more. Probably need two more wide receivers. So a 3-6-8-3 is most likely what will end here. That's the common build. I feel pretty good about these quarterbacks. Lawrence, Stroud. I mean, I don't actually feel good about Sam Darnold, but I don't take a lot of JSN, so I might as well take Darnold when I take him. And yeah, I think I am just going to do the one draft tonight. Just I slept all afternoon, wasn't kind of just been tired all day. But I wanted to get the draft in. Definitely wanted to do the drafters draft. Let me know if you like the drafters content. If you don't, uh, I will definitely mix some in. I mean, I want to do a lot. I'm going to do a lot more on underdog. I prefer underdog. I But yeah, like last year, the last year was an anomaly, right? With how things worked out. I've had a lot of heavy running back starts and a lot of stuff this year just because I feel like value's there. But I definitely want to build just like I don't want to not build zero RB. Yeah, DK content is rough because it's just the interface is awful. If you're just stopping in, please smash the like for me. It'll help out a lot. And also, Fancy Dog says, last year, Drafters was not my friend. Left a bad taste. Yeah, I didn't do great. I actually almost, I will say, in the total points format, I personally prefer the total points format in playoff best ball. Like, I liked the playoff best ball more with total points than I did with the playoff stuff or with the week by week advancement. So I will most likely play most of my playoff best ball over here on drafters. And I ended up finishing top 10, I believe, in one of them. Um, After halftime, I was in second of the Super Bowl before KC decided to start scoring points. Like of course it was my Eagle stack that was crushing. And I was like, hey, well, this is fine. We're losing the game, but I'm currently winning 5,000. And then Kansas City decided to score all these meaningless points that just cost me money. It was a great time. Let me tell you, it was awesome. I loved it. Loved every minute of it. I'm doing a lot more variety in my builds this year from but yeah, I'm just kind of letting a draft fall to me and doing what I feel, not forcing this, trying to make sure I get at least two like locked in day one starters for running back. And I consider like Brian Robinson and Tony Pollard, or you can consider Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason. That like they're not really, but those players are going to split enough time that you can feel good about it. Last year I did a lot more like Ray Davis, like Shipley, Lloyd, and had I had six total running backs, and five of them were that tier. And that did not work at all. I definitely want to make sure at least the beginning, like, I at least want the beginning of the season to not fall way behind, right? With the rules favoring the passing game, forcing a lot of too high safety, definitely running backs are here to stay. Yeah, no, that is right. And I actually was saying this in fantasy football like 5 or 6 years ago that the reason that whenever everybody starts just trying to stop the defense, like stop all these nickel and diming things and or the long balls that run, and because the linebackers just get smaller and smaller, the running backs that stay the same size are going to get more effective, right? And that's just a thing that was going to happen. I wasn't the only person saying that. I mean, I wasn't online saying it. I was just talking with buddies, but it just made sense that that was going to be the natural progression. I really like Tyler Higbee on this website as well. Uh, he's definitely going to play the first part of the season for sure. Do I want? I think I'm going to go ahead and take Devin Neal here. I'll finish the draft out with two wide receivers, non by week 8 wide receivers. Uh, I'll just let it kind of come to me. Feel what happens. Gonna feel it. I'll take Adonai Mitchell. I'll take him. I'll take De'Ami Brown. Savion Williams is fine. Roman Wilson's fine. Tolbert's fine. De'Ami Brown is not fine. I lied. By week 8, not fine. DK is fine. Parker Washington's not fine. Just gonna click all the people that that do not have a by week 8. Ray McLeod. MVS is hiding somewhere down here. He's also got a by week 8. Can't do that. Uh, Malik Washington is a fine pick as well. So, of all those players, I just want two of them. None of those are by week 8. So, we're definitely going to take some of those. And teams employing the 1A, 1B backfields like Detroit, Pittsburgh, etc., less wear and tear keeps them fresh. Yeah. Like from a football perspective, like if I were to coach and build a team, and I mean, you could even say Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton. Like Hampton is going to be the guy, but I think Najee's still going to get 10 to 15 touches a game. Like even when it is Hampton's backfield, like Najee's still going to get 10 or so carries a game. Mostly to keep the Hampton fresh, right? Like that's what I believe. We'll see what actually happens. But I think that that would make a lot of sense for them to do it as well. And it makes a lot of sense for any of the teams to do. I mean, running backs get injured the most in the league, right? Unless your name's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's not human though. So there's that. Like he got hurt 1 year and then he's missed a full season, missed one game, a full season, missed one game, full season. I believe 2020 was a 16 game schedule. I can't remember, but like let's say those were 2 and 1 games, right? That's still great. That's what I'm talking about. The league is moving to that Carolina and the Giants. Yeah. And I am now going to start taking more Tyrone Tracy now that he's behind Scatabo. I was kind of just waiting for that to happen. I took him earlier today on, I did an eliminator on Liam and Davis's stream. Um, we can look at that because it was different. We will look through that here in just a minute. Uh, but I ended up with Tyrone Tracy. It wasn't on that one. Actually, that was last night that I took Tracy. I had a Al Boogie was in it. Candyman was it Candyman? It was late last night. I've done enough drafts. I have them all mixed up. Henry's career also might be extended. The Ravens aren't running him into the ground. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I definitely agree. Tampa Bay. Now, it wasn't that. It was a puppy where I took the. So it's my pick. We'll get this done. So I think I just want upside here. I'm going to take DK or Savion and DK, I think. Yeah. All right. So we got a 3-6-8-3. We got Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold. Running backs, Brees Hall, James Conner, Jalen Warren, Jordan Mason, Roshan Johnson, Devin Neal. Wide receivers, Nico, Brian Thomas, JSN, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, Wandale, Savion, and DK. Tight ends, Hawkinson, Ferg, and Tyler Higbee. Looks pretty good. I have a ton of firepower at wide receiver. I have a couple starters and role players here at running back. 3 competent quarterbacks, a decent squad of tight ends. Like, I think Higbee is criminally underrated for total points. Like, I understand why you wouldn't want to take him in an 18 round format on underdog where there's playoffs involved to where Ferguson might end up taking over the role. But they love Tyler Higbee. And if you're in the very last round and you're getting half the season with Tyler Higbee for the last round, and you might get more than half the season, like Higbee was smashing at the end of last year. Like getting him in the 18th, 19th, 20th round is awesome for total points. I was wanting to look at that. Oh, it was Chad Candles this morning. That's right. It was Chad Candles in the AM. I did a 3-4-8-3. We had Genty, Brees Hall, Kyron, and Tyrone Tracy. I tacked him on. That the first time I've taken Tyrone Tracy since the draft, honestly. And then Wide receivers might be a little thin, but London, Godwin, Judy, Mooney, Kyle Williams, Wandale, Keenan, and MVS. Then a group of guys down here. But I've tended to do a lot more hyper fragile this year. Like when I do take the early running backs, I tend to just take a few of them and then stop early. And then if what happens last year happens, I'm covered because we have, like, if they're not getting injured, like that's why they're smashing, right? But anyway, I'm going to go. I believe PPR Tyler's live right now. Thanks, Sean Mitchell on Extend the Drive is live right now. I'm going to be back at 8 p.m. Central on Fanspeak Network. I'll see everybody over there. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.